Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me, Mr. Jankowski, for notes again. We're on page 47, and this is another example about using rates and proportions to solve a problem. So I'm going to zoom in, and again, we're on page 47 of our math notebook. I'm going to zoom in and take a look at the problem we have up here. And it looks like there are 3 steps that we need to try to use to solve this problem. So we'll start with step number 1, go to step number 2, and then step number 3. The question says, Alice runs 3 miles in 40 minutes. At this rate, how far can she run in 60 minutes? So we need to write a proportion. And there are a couple ways you could write this proportion. Now, the way that I would normally do this if it was me, I'm going to put one way. I would write it like this. She runs 3 miles, let's use blue, 3 miles in 40 minutes. So we got 3 miles on top, 40 minutes on the bottom, and that's equal to how far she would run in 60 minutes. I just don't know what that number is yet. So I'll call that X. Another way of doing the same exact proportion, writing this the same way to get the same answer, you could write it like this. You could say that she ran, let's do this, hang on one second. She ran 40 minutes, and she ran 3 miles. If she ran 60 minutes, how many miles would that be? So we'll call that Y. Both proportions will get us to the correct answer. And it doesn't matter which way you do it. You could do it the first way or the second way. Each way would get you to the same answer. So I'm going to use the first, the way that I have written on the first way here. I'm just going to do that. Use that one. So find a multiplier. Since it's not going to be too easy to find a multiplier, I'm going to take this one and rewrite it down here. So I'll draw an arrow. So I'm going to put 3 miles. I'm just going to put 3M for short in 40 minutes, MIN for short. So use some abbreviations, equals something over 60 minutes. So we're going to make X miles. Okay. So now that I have that, I can cross multiply, use the butterfly method, and solve. I can solve in another way too. I could look for common multiples, but I can't turn a 40 into a 60 very easily. So I'm going to use the butterfly method and solve this one. First, I'm going to cross multiply 3 times 60. And 3 times 6 is 18. Add that 0, so 180. And then I'm going to cross multiply 40 times X. And that equals 40x. I'm going to take those 2 products that I got, and I'm going to solve. Before I do that, let me step down to step number 3, find the equivalent rate. Okay, we'll do that last. So I'm going to set this up as 180 equals 40x. And to get this x by itself, I'm going to divide by 40 on both sides. This 0 gets eliminated. 4 over 4 is the same as 1, so I can just call this x. And x equals 180 over 40, so I'm going to simplify this before I divide. So x equals 18 over 4. Now, this is not my final answer. This is an improper fraction, so I'm going to have to make this a mixed number or a whole number to get the answer. So 18 divided by 4. Let's do this on the side over here. 4 goes into 1 0 times, but it goes into 18 4 times. And 4 times 4 is 16. 18 minus 16 is 2. So I have 4 remainder 2, which means in fraction form, as a mixed number, it's 4 and 2/4, which I can say is the same as 4 and 1/2, or 4.5. Let's do that. And actually, let's just divide into the decimals. Why not? So 4 goes into 18 4 times. 4 times 4 is 16. 18 minus 16 is 2. Add a 0, bring that down. There's a decimal there. Put that decimal in the quotient. And 4 goes into 20 5 times. 4 times 5 is 20. 20 minus 20 is 0. So 4.5 is what x equals. So what is the equivalent rate? Well, if she's going to go 3 miles in 40 minutes, that's going to equal to the same thing as 4.5 miles if she runs for 60 minutes. So this is the equivalent rate. Make sure I get that right. Okay, so an equivalent rate is 4.5 miles in 60 minutes. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you guys can see all this. Remember that these notes are also in Google Classroom under the screencast notes section, so you can see all that there. And of course, you can rewrite or rewatch these videos over and over again to your heart's content before, so that you can fully understand what we're doing here. So thank you for watching, everybody. See you in the next one.